Hey, we're on. What's up, Ernie? We're back.
What up, Richie?
Chilling,
Everything
man.
good?
Another week. We're still alive and kicking.
So you need to call my agent, man. We need to redo the contract. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, talking about agents, man, talking about advisors, today's show, we want to talk a little bit about the draft and have a young man that played high school baseball down here in South Florida and also played his college baseball here. And it's overcoming a lot of obstacles that are on his way through an injury, man, and just excited to talk to him and learn more about him today and him and also his advisor. So, Rich, man, let's get it going.
Yeah, you were wearing the spiffy 305
I did.
stuff.
Well, actually, I was wearing the 305 hat.
You were wearing the spiffy 305 stuff. I still haven't told you the story about that. Once we're done with today's show, I'm going to give you the story about that. I actually got a few text messages about the shirt I was wearing last week. It's not the same one I'm wearing today, but it said Tough Neek, and that's actually a local guy. He actually is Chris Perez. It's his brand. He's one of the wrestling coaches at Southridge. He actually built the wrestling program at Keysgate, but then he got offered a job at his alma mater, so he took that job. But he's making little shirts, and it's a cool little brand. He's putting kids in college, so he actually made us some Yard Talk shirts that I'm going to pick up next week.
Cool.
So yeah, awesome. Hopefully we'll have him on. So without further ado, let's
see how my agent's already coming through.
Yes. Hey, man. Let's bring him in. Hold up.
Let's go.
Here they are.
Hey, Freddie, how are you?
Hey, Ernie, how's it going?
Good, man. Where's Mikey? Mikey there?
Yep, he's there.
Yeah.
Right here.
Hey, Mikey. Hey, we're thank you for coming on, guys. The Yard Talk is we concentrate a lot of what's going on in high school baseball, not only in Miami-Dade County but also the state of Florida. This is going to be watched at HSBN, who picked us up and is letting us have this platform just promote and talk about our guys, man. So I'm glad that we're able to have Freddy Zamora on today from University of Miami, and also Michael Maulini, who's his advisor. And Mike's we'll talk a little bit about Mike later because he's had backgrounds in baseball and also had some big names that he has advised through his career. So before we start, Rich, I would like for us to play this video, which I think personifies what has been transpiring with Freddy Zamora the last few months. So go ahead and play it.
Yep. Let's see how my technological skills are. I did it in the dress rehearsal. Let's see if it happens here live.
No pressure.
Let me know if you guys can see me. We good?
We good.
Here we go.
I am Freddy Zamora, and I am from Nicaragua. My parents came over and brought me and my brothers and my sister when I was 5. Living from house to house in small areas. My mom working every day, cleaning houses. My dad doing construction, making sure we always have food on our table. They never complain. I just want to make them happy for the way they've raised me, all the values they've taught me, and for just sacrificing basically their whole life for us. My initial influence when I started playing baseball was my dad. He was a professional baseball player over there, so he was the one who put that drive in me to get better every single day. I want to be a role model for other kids that are going to go through the same thing in the future. If you work hard enough, anything's possible.
This guy's just on fire. Talk about the leader of this club.
And he rips that one to left field. Forget about it.
Zamora up.
He swings and walk-off homer for Freddy Zamora and the Canes.
This past season, we got cut short 3 days before the home opener. I was running down the first base line, trying to beat out a throw, and I collided with the first baseman, and I landed on my right ACL and tore it. Since my surgery, the process has been really grueling. But I fought my way back, and I'm ready. My mindset in practice is to just get better every day. I do see myself as a World Series champion one day. Ever since I was a kid, that's been my dream. Freddy Zamora 10 to 15 years from now will be in the bidding to be a Hall of Famer one day and one of the best shortstops to play this game.
Freddy Zamora, Mr. Do-It-All. We talked about it earlier, man. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable what he just did.
There it is. That was fantastic. Freddie, quick, before we get on a serious topic, how on earth did you choose to shoot that at Gables?
That's
Call my agent.
That was with the people higher up.
Call my agent.
Call my agent.
Listen. When Mike Maulini calls and says he needs the favor, we move and thank God that everything was a go and everybody was there doing the with the observing the social distancing with the mask, and everything was done the right way, and I was there to make sure that got done. But more importantly, Mike Maulini does a lot for our community that he doesn't want to take credit for, with a lot of players that he has that are former South Florida players. So yeah, man, he takes care of us. We're gonna have to take care of him. So that was a no-brainer.
Well
But
said.
Freddie, the first thing I gotta tell you, man, is how are you feeling? Or ask you is how are you feeling?
Now just feeling good. Feeling better than I did before. After surgery. Right after surgery, my leg was feeling pretty bad. The pain and stuff. But once I got off the crutches and started being able to do more things in terms of working out, the leg has been feeling great, and just getting better every day.
Right. No, you looked great at the workout, man. You didn't look like anything was forced. You didn't look like there's any pain, because I saw the whole thing, and you were there the whole time like nothing. So it looks like you're back, man. And one of the things that I loved is I know you got that tat that says now. And
Yeah.
I was the first one that told you, oh, the time is now, and I recognized it. And that's the sense of urgency that I see that you have as a player. And what made you choose that significant message that you have on yourself?
No, just pretty much that same thing. Just I wanted to put it on me, just to give myself a constant reminder every day. Like my mom tells me, just don't leave for tomorrow what you can do today. So the time is now. I think it was like the perfect thing to put on me, and just seeing that every day, and it reminding me, giving me a reminder to just do everything that I'm able to do.
Yeah, it's awesome. And Lou Holtz wrote a book that's called WIN, W-I-N, and it's an acronym for what's important now. And we tend to, not focus on the now and the moment. And obviously in baseball, you got to focus the now and the moment on this pitch, not the pitch that happened or the next pitch. It's this pitch right now. And that's a great message for all the young ball players that are out there. But Freddie, enough about that, man. You played at Killian for 4 years down here. You played for a great coach and a friend that passed away recently. What can you tell us about Angel? My gosh, I'm slipping my last name here.
Herrera.
Angel Herrera, man. Sorry, man. I've got so many questions. What can you tell us about playing for Angel?
I mean, it was probably the best 4 years of my life, honestly. He took me in when I was an eighth grader, actually, and he pretty much brought me under his wing and taught me how the game of baseball was supposed to be played. And he was the one who really started getting at me to get better. And he saw this talent in me that in that moment I didn't know I had, and he just pushed me every day when I came in as a freshman. Just made me get better every day. Introduced me to great people like Mikey, and he was just a great coach. He like communicated with his players, and was there for his players, was something special. And I don't think anybody else was really like that. So it sucks and it's touching that he passed away, and may he rest in peace. But I know that he's looking down right now, you know, smiling because, you know, this is something that we talked about a lot of times.
Freddie,
Absolutely.
I noticed that's one of the first things I noticed that you had on your Killian shirt.
Yeah,
you had
always
on a Killian shirt, and I you know, that's immediately what I thought of. I thought of Angel and known him for a long time, and like you said, he was kind of a player's coach. Just to take that point a little further along, now that you've had a good high school experience, you're at the collegiate level. Now you're talking about playing at maybe the next level. What would you want a high school coach to provide for the next generation of kids, of ball players? Like, what you, in retrospect, what would you say to those coaches? What would you say with what you have, the experiences that you have gone through? What would you say? What would you want a high school coach to be for your brother, for your other younger brother? You know, what would you want for them?
Let's see. I think the first thing that comes to mind is just never take the game for granted. You know, just go out there every day and give it your all, and you know, just don't look back one day and regret anything that you didn't do. You know, just do whatever you can in that moment and just work harder than anybody. I think that's the most important message a high school coach could tell any kid. You know, if you work hard enough and, you know, you commit yourself to getting better every day, you know, things are going to happen and you're going to get rewarded for those, you know, sacrifices and stuff.
Have you seen your commitment level grow since you were an 8th grader, 9th, 10th? Did you start to have like a realization? Did something click in a certain year or a certain game or a certain season that you said, damn, I might be able to do this like at a higher level? Did something click?
Yeah, I mean, I think it sort of clicked my freshman year because coming in, I was just a freshman. Nobody really knew me. And then there was a shortstop spot open on the varsity team. So, you know, I put that chip on my shoulder to, you know, I wanted to get that position and I wanted to play shortstop for the varsity team. So, you know, I just came out there every day and try to get better and, you know, try to prove to them who I was. And once I got that position and I was able to, you know, be the shortstop for the varsity team, I think that's when it clicked that, you know, I think I had this talent and, you know, that if I worked hard enough at it, you know, I could be something special one day.
Fred, what's the difference between the high school Freddy Zamora to the college Freddy Zamora? And then obviously answer that, and then I got another question for you.
The difference between high school now and me now is, I mean, I'm more mature, honestly, as a person, not just as a baseball player, but as a person as well. But, you know, I've learned a lot of things in college now that, you know, I didn't in high school. And I think it's helped me become a better player. So, you know, I've developed, gotten stronger. And, yeah, I think I see the game, you know, in a different way now than I did in high school. You know, back in high school, I think I was more calm than I am now. And it was it wasn't the greatest sometimes. But and I think from the difference between now and, you know, the next level is just, you know, the speed of the game. You know, I think just that's something that I'm going to have to get accustomed to and get used to once I get up there. But I don't really see that being a problem or anything. You know, I think I've gotten, you know, acclimated to higher levels of baseball pretty quick.
Yeah, which was going to carry me to my next question. And the professional Freddy Zamora, how's that guy going to handle business? How's he going to conduct when it comes to the baseball?
Yeah, I know, just go about my business every day, you know, just be that humble person that I grew up being, and, you know, just being that role model for kids as well that, you know, want to get to the majors one day. And, you know, I want them to get, you know, to look up to someone that, you know, is a good person and stuff. So I think that's going to be, you know, the Freddy Zamora and the bigs.
I love when you said it, the bigs. That's awesome, man. And there's no doubt that the abilities are there, and the skill set is definitely present. And what has helped you, like, as far as from a mental aspect of this game, from high school to college? What do you think has been the difference from a mental aspect?
just, you know, just understanding the game and understanding that it's a game of failure, and, you know, not getting too down on yourself when you fail, and, you know, not getting too high on yourself when you succeed. You know, just trying to stay, you know, level, like even keeled, level headed, and, you know, not letting the game or your emotions get too into the game. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned since being in college.
That's awesome. I mean, it's tough. I mean, dealing with high school guys, it's tough for them to understand that, you know, and definitely, you know, you progress and definitely you progress and you learn it. And then in college, it says, oh, this is what they're talking about. So listen, I'm going to ask Mike a couple questions right now. Mike, you've had success with a lot of these young men that you've advised. What is it that you see? What is the first thing that you see when you said, this guy's got it, that you saw in Freddy? Talk to me.
Well, I met Freddy when he was a freshman in high school. Obviously, Angel Herrera, rest in peace. We were childhood friends. He called me one day, goes, hey, come watch this kid. He's a freshman. I know he's young, but you got to take a look. I went to one of Freddy's games, got there early, didn't know I was there, watched how he went about his preparation before the game, and watched him play, saw his actions as a young kid. And you can just see the projection was going to be there down the line once he got bigger, stronger. And what impressed me the most about Freddy during that time was how quickly a 14-year-old adapted to the high school varsity, you know, speed of the game. That's what makes Freddy special. Freddy can make that adjustment at any level. And that's why I think he's going to succeed. And the most important thing about Freddy is the people behind Freddy, his mom, his dad, his sisters, that foundation that I had an opportunity to meet when I first met with them. And, you know, those are the people I want to work for. Those people I want to help and guide and advise and do the right thing for them. So I saw a lot of things. I've seen a lot of great players in our area that I don't even talk to, because I want to work with the right people and help the right people and just be that guidance for them, even if it's a little bit.
That you know, you said something that we touched upon last show, and it's the, you know, when you have the support of the parents, you're going to make the right decisions always, from a baseball standpoint, from a moral standpoint, from every standpoint. And it's good to you know, to hear that, you know, and there's no doubt you could tell that Freddy was raised right and taught right. And I'm glad that he's working with you, or you working with him. Mike, give us a little background, man, on some of the guys that you've had since high school, because it's a who's who of South Florida major leaguers, more or less. So give us a little rundown.
Well, this is my 22nd year in the business. I can't believe it's been that long, to be honest with you.
When you were 12, you look 32.
Thank you. Not really, man. I'm getting up there close to the 50s already, but it's not a job to me. It's a dream. I wake up I do it with passion. I do it with love, and you know, I've represented over 90 guys at the University of Miami and over 60 kids from the Miami area as well. Yonder Alonso, Yasmani Grandal, Carlos Gutierrez, Andrew Suarez, Brian Garcia, Eric San Pedro, just to name a few right off the bat. I mean, I've had a lot of success. I've worked with the right people. And it all started with a dream. You know, Sean Rodriguez, Robert Andino, Gabby Hernandez, Eddie Morlan, Gio Gonzalez, all those guys that I've had an opportunity to be part of their life in some capacity. And what's important to me today as an older man, and not a 23-year-old in the business, is that seeing my guys that never made it to the show, but seeing them be great people, great fathers, great husbands, great leaders in this community, it's what fulfilled my dream when I started this business. And that's what I want to impact these kids' lives. I want to make sure that we do the right thing for them.
That's awesome, and I know it because I've seen it firsthand, you know. And the thing with Mike is not many people know Mike played high school baseball here at Jackson, and then Mike also went on to play college baseball at Barry. and he was a great teammate, still talks to a lot of people, and not many people know that you have an extensive baseball background and you know how to evaluate talent. You're just not an advisor that, oh, they send me a kid. No, you know your stuff, and to me that is more, it's very important, because you're picking and choosing guys that could play, but first and foremost, guys of character, then guys that can play, and then guys that have that structure that's going to help them succeed. Like you said, all those pillars that are very important. Mike, I know you've been successful, man. I thank you for taking your time to come out here. And look, I know that Freddie's going to do great things, and I know you're going to do great things with Freddie, but we're going to keep asking Freddie stuff, because this is not about you right now.
It's all about Big Fred.
Ernie, I got a couple questions actually, and I guess I got one for Mike and I got one for Freddie, but
go ahead.
I'll speak to Freddie first. Freddie, something about your video that caught my attention was, besides all the grass in the infield, the weeds at Gables.
Wow.
What caught my attention was that you said that you want to be a role model. And that's something that's like a big topic in professional sports right now. A lot of guys say, hey, man, I'm just here to play ball. I'm not here to be a role model. You know, your father should be a role model, or your teacher should be a role model, somebody else. Like, does that come from you being an older brother? Where does that come from that you want to be a role model?
Yeah, I think it comes directly from being an older brother, honestly, because, you know, my parents or my mom telling me almost, you know, every day that my brothers look up to me, and, you know, that I don't see it all the time, but whatever I do, they try to, you know, copy or imitate. And, you know, since then I've been trying to, you know, just be a good example for my brothers. So I feel like once I get to that, you know, to the majors, you know, the bigs, and I'm able to be a role model for, you know, kids coming up, I think that's something that I would, you know, love to do. And, you know, just be that right person for them, and, you know, say how they're supposed to, you know, carry themselves, and, you know, all those things.
That's great, man. That's great. I mean, I think that's ultra important. I think a lot of professional athletes don't really embrace that responsibility, and they don't have to. You know what I mean? They don't have to. But I think it's refreshing to hear someone at your level really want to do that, because we need more of that, man. We need more. A lot of these kids are lost. A lot of these kids are just they go down the wrong path, and don't understand that it's really not about sports. It's really about the character-driven things that sports provide. So, man, that's a great answer. Mike,
go ahead. Hold on, before you ask that, one of the things that you know, hearing Freddie speak and how he came from Nicaragua. I think you said 4 years old, Freddie, you and your family?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years old.
4 or 5, yeah. See, that resonates with me, because I know when I came to this country, I was 3 years old. 50 years ago, and my parents left.
1924, right?
69, but don't exaggerate. But definitely, I see that what my parents did now as a grown up, and the sacrifices they did all throughout to give a better situation. That the ones that are benefiting, obviously, have benefited, but the ones that are benefiting the most are my kids. My 2 daughters and my son, and now my grandson. And I see that, man, and with you, and you're not taking that for granted. And that's what I love, because you're doing this because of that opportunity to get out of a country that was the same situation like Cuba, with you know, a regime that really was, that your parents didn't agree with, and they're creating this, man. And my hat's off to you to think like that. And again, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah. Gosh, I think that it makes me want to go back to Fred again.
Go ahead.
Another standout in that video was the footage of your pops. Can you tell us a little bit about his baseball background? We know he played, but was baseball something he had to hang up to come to this country?
Yeah, it was something. Well, my dad started working when he was 12, 13 years old. These stories my mom tells me. His dad left him, so it was only him and his brothers, you know, and his mom. So he had to start working from an early age at 12. And then when he was 16, there was these tryouts over there for the team, and he went, by himself on the bus and tried out for the team and made it. So ever since that point, he started playing baseball. He started taking care of the family. And then, my mom came along and he had us. And then, once they decided to come to the U.S., it was something that he had to stop doing completely. Ever since he's been here, he's been working, construction and stuff. So it was definitely a huge sacrifice.
Is he your biggest fan or is she your biggest fan? Who's the bigger fan?
That's a tough one. I think she is, but it's probably 51-49.
And who's tougher on you, mom or dad? Who's tougher on you? Baseball-wise. Mom is?
Yeah, mom is.
That's
my dad's my dad's more laid back and stuff. My dad's like me.
Right. What did she tell you? What did she tell you, Freddie? Pero cómo te vas a ponchar con ese lanzamiento? Something like that. That's like, Freddie, how are you going to swing that pitch? How can you swing that?
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, I've been blessed because of my parents. My dad coming, and my mom, she plays softball and volleyball.
No way.
When she was a kid.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I've been honestly blessed to have them because, they're not those parents that when I was growing up and stuff and I was having bad games, and they were those parents that were just out there screaming at me and stuff like that. They understood the game, and they understood that, I was going to grow and I was going to develop and stuff. So they always just kept me, they always kept me up and stuff and never, really put me down.
That's fantastic. Mikey, question for you. I mean, I've known about Freddie since before he got into 9th grade as well. I mean, this is the way high school works now in this landscape. I knew whose district you live in. I knew what school you weren't going to. I knew what school you were going to. Like, I've known about you since before 9th grade. But my question, leading into that question is, Mikey, a lot of people don't know what advisors do. A lot of people don't know who should have an advisor. Like, can you just elaborate a little bit on what it is you do and who should really seek your services? Because, everybody's son or daughter is the best thing since sliced bread. But honestly, there's got to be some measurables there. So could you just elaborate on that?
I mean, to give you a little bit on Freddie's case, since Freddie's here, when I met Freddie, he was a 14-year-old. Miami was already looking at him. So once the family decided that they wanted me to be their advisor, as an advisor, you seek what kind of package the university is offering Freddie. Stay on him as far as his grades, what he needed to do academically. Believe it or not, whenever Angel would call me, hey, we got to get on Freddie, I would get on Freddie, and I would always be on top of Freddie to make sure that he always kept that NCAA, leverage. If the opportunity came out of high school to be a guy, you got to have that, you got to have that backing. So it was important for me, in Freddie's case, to always maintain him academically focused on Miami was the number one priority. And if professional baseball came and knocked on the door, we would listen. But, and that's what we do in that level. And then obviously as we get going into the college level, then, we try to advise the kids, are we going to go to the Cape this summer? Are we going to not go to the Cape and just stay home and work out? Are we going to go to Team USA? Just guide the players, the families in the right direction so that they make the right decisions. And not that they have to do what I tell them. I just give them my advice. And at the end of the day, Freddie and his family always make the final decision, but they have everything in front of them.
Yeah, one thing that goes without saying too is that you at this point right now, when your player becomes draft eligible, you are working the scouts. What do you think? Working the cross checkers. What do you think? What do you think? And making it his worthwhile, because if he's not in that position to be taken in a position to secure his financial future, there's no need to go out and say, you know what, let's wait. But yeah, definitely I can see that. But Mike, it's not common to see a 14-year-old and say, hey, this guy is going to be a pro ball player. It's not a commonality. I mean, we could see great talent, but it's not common, right? Am I wrong on this?
Well, I mean, Yasmani Grandal, I recruited him as a 13-year-old. Harold Martinez, a 13-year-old. Carlos Perez, a 13-year-old. Andrew Suarez, a 14-year-old. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, there are guys that are special that stand out from the pack right away. And if you have, guys like us that have been around the game, know the game, have played the game, you can see guys and you could pretty much project. Not that you're going to be perfect all time because you are going to make mistakes.
Of course.
But, you know, we're pretty good talent evaluators based on the experience that we have in this field. So
yeah,
I think I've done pretty well.
You've done okay. You've done okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, I got to see you know, some exciting names playing as 16-year-olds. Bryce Harper comes to mind right away, and Lindor and Mike Christensen and Austin Meadows and stuff like that. And yeah, you're right. You could see it, but damn, at 14, I still I saw J.P. Crawford at 14, and I was like, what? It's tremendous. But it's like we live in a big country, and sometimes we see our area. And, you know, gosh, yeah, he's good in the air, but then you go out and it's not the same. But yeah, you definitely have more hits than misses, and I commend you for that. So, Freddie, going back to you, man. I'm tired looking at Mike's head. Listen, Freddie, what are you hearing, man? Talk to me. What you're feeling as far as this draft coming up, June 11th, right, Mike?
June 10th, and June 11th, yeah.
June 10th, 11th. What are you hearing, and what are you sensing, Freddie?
Well, I mean, I've spoken to, you know, a couple of teams now, and they've just, you know, been trying to keep in contact with me. But honestly, I think I'm ready for that next chapter in my life, you know, to start my professional baseball career. But, you know, I also don't want to, you know, go for nothing and something that I'm not worth. You know, I understand. Of course. You know, I understand with my injury and stuff, there's going to be a lot of things going into the draft and to play, but I definitely don't want to, you know, undervalue myself. You know, I know what type of player I am, and I know what I can do, you know, on the baseball field. So if I have to come back to Miami, you know, that's fine. That's totally fine. I'll just show that I'm a first rounder next year. But, you know, I'm excited for it, and I'm hoping to, you know, get that opportunity this year.
All right, Fred, you have one opportunity. That you have a gun to your head and they tell you got to pick a team right now. Who's it going to be that you would want them to pick you? Come on, man. You
Yomiuri Giants. The Yomiuri Giants.
You handle pressure, and now you can't handle this question. Come on, man.
I have an answer for it, but
go ahead, shoot. What's the answer?
The one team to draft me right now.
Go ahead. Who would you love? Like you said, the Yankees. And why is that? Just the whole tradition of all the great shortstops that have come through there?
Honestly, because of one person and one person only is because of Derek Jeter. I think just watch.
All right. So why didn't you say the Marlins if Derek Jeter's there?
No, yeah, that would be great. That would be the craziest thing ever if Derek Jeter.
I know that'll be different. Playing in front of 60,000, playing in front of 6. I get it. No, I'm sorry. That's not. It's gonna get better with Jeter.
Yeah. I know Jeter has that franchise going in the right direction, but
no doubt.
Thanks, Ernie. Good job, brother.
No doubt. Listen, that was the old. You know, they're doing a great job. In fact, shoot, I have one of my ex-players works for them in player development. So. But definitely, so the Yankees or the Marlins, right? I threw that in extra there for you.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to play for Miami too. You know, hometown team. Jeter's the GM. I mean, that's basically my, you know, role idol growing up. Just Derek Jeter. You know, watching Derek Jeter highlights as a kid and watching him play for the Yankees. That'll be
awesome. That'll be
crazy.
You know, one of
go, Ernie. I'll go after.
One of the things that I've always seen and seen great players play at the high school level and the college level is they make the game look easy. They make the game look slow, and you do that, and that is an attribute that can't be taught. Why do you think that is the way it is with you?
Oh, I honestly, that's a hard question. I think that's just. I've always played the game of baseball that way, and it's not something that I've ever really thought about. It's just that's how it's come to me, and I think that I don't really try to force anything or anything. I think that's just the way I've played baseball since my dad taught me how to play when I was a kid, and I think it just my personality and everything goes into it. But you know, I just try to play how I was taught, you know, with my dad, and it's pretty much I guess that's how it is. It comes easy to me. It's in my blood.
Nice. Good. I mean, you play hard, but it's like you make that ball in the hole look easy. You make the routine obviously look extra routine, and that's a great attribute to have. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, Freddie, I wanted to. I'm very familiar with a couple of guys over there at UM with you, and I just wanted to ask you about a teammate or two that you've had, maybe one in high school and one in college, because as a teammate, you just have a little bit more insight that a coach does or somebody watching the game. Can you talk to me about Caballito over there? What's his name? Adrian Del Castillo.
Adrian.
that guy hit field goals against us in high school.
Bro, that is probably the best pure hitter I've ever seen in my life. That guy gets out of bed and rakes. Honestly, no, but he's a great kid. He's a humble kid. I've known Caballo since high school now, but he's one of those kids that just shows up, does what he has to do, works his butt off, and it shows on the field. He's probably the best hitter in his class. So he's a special kid, and he's probably.
I got a great Caballo story. We were facing them in the district semis. We had beat them in the course of the season. We're playing them at Gulliver. So we meet the day before the game. Myself, my pitching coach, and the three guys that might be on the mound that day, and the catcher. And we say, hey, this is the game plan. He does not swing the bat today. Does not swing the bat today. We're going to frustrate him and his team, and it doesn't matter if there's men on first and second in the first inning. We're going to walk them. We're going to put them on. And that's just going to frustrate him and the team, et cetera. Everybody, Voltron, everybody puts their hands in, go. Then comes the game next day. First inning, couple guys get on, he comes on. We load the bases to put him on.
Damn.
My pitcher throws his hands up, being a little demonstrative. That's cool. We get the next guy out. Hey, see, it worked. Blah, blah, blah. Fast forward later in the game. He comes up. Coach tells me, hey, you're going to walk him? I says, nah, man. Let him go. Let him get his. He wants him. Caballo hit it through the field goal post behind right field.
Yeah. he wanted to face him. There it is.
But he's just a special guy. And it's crazy because, in high school, sometimes you see a lot of guys in high school that you're like, wow. But then they get to the collegiate level, and then you're like, man, what happened?
Double wow.
Well, yeah, and that's what he's done. And I just wanted to hear from a teammate's point of view, because I've only been on the field with him as an opposing coach. I haven't seen his work ethic. I haven't seen what he does at in practices and VP and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's a dude. He's definitely going to be one of those top guys next year.
Definitely, yeah. He definitely. There's a lot of guys that could swing it over there in Miami. So, but so Fred, feeling great. You're throwing. You're hitting already. You're getting ready. You got any workouts coming up soon?
Workouts like what type of workouts do you mean?
Like actually, like of the pro workouts with the teams, or that you're not ready for?
Teams are not allowed.
Not allowed anymore. Oh, because of the good. All right.
That period, yeah, they're done.
Yeah, because of the COVID. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome.
No kidding.
Yeah, just been having a lot of Zoom meetings with them over the phone, just like this.
Zoom meetings with pro teams.
Oh yeah.
That's what's been going on.
What kind of questions they ask you, man? It's because I'm sure we're giving you a harder time than they are. But what kind of questions?
Nah, they ask about like your past and stuff. They ask about school.
Right.
They ask about they ask you about things about you as a baseball player, like what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what do you think you need to improve on? What's your best attribute, what's your worst? Things like that. And then they just talk about, their system, their organization, and the way they're developing their players and stuff, the things they're using. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just giving, they're giving their insight.
Okay, so what are your strengths, Fred? Now that you've had many practices answering that question.
I say all of them. I think I could do anything on the baseball field. I just need to work on them and get better on them. But I don't think there's anything that I can't do on a baseball field. I think I just need to get better at them.
And the area that you think, the area that you think you need more improvement or most improvement.
I say just being more consistent. I think that I've shown that I could play baseball at a high level. I just need to do it more consistently and just be that same person and that same Freddy every day.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Rich.
Mikey, a question that's always is really relevant to the high school game, and I wanted to know how that translates in your conversations with colleges, with teams, and do they ask this? Do they care about this? I mean, I know it's a new day and age. Does the fact that a player like Freddy's been in the same program, the same high school program for 4 years, 5 years, does that say something to teams, to schools about the kind of player, the kind of person that you are promoting or working with?
Absolutely. Talks highly about the individual. Talks about the loyalty, the commitment to stick to one program, whether it's good or bad. It has a lot of leverage with teams. You see guys jump around in the high school division and every year, and teams don't really like that because it shows a lot of instability. And if I'm going to commit millions of dollars to a player, I want to make sure the guy is a stable person, is going to maintain that stability in his mind when he gets that money. That's very important for these teams. And yes, they do look into that very deeply.
And how does that translate, let's say, to not a Freddy Zamora, just the average ball player that he might not, he's not going to be drafted, but maybe he's got a chance to play NAIA or, D3 somewhere around the country. How important is that to them?
I think it's always important. I mean, you're asking a person that believes in loyalty very deeply, and I've always been that type of person. I mean, that's just my makeup. I think it shows character. It shows who you are. Nowadays people want to be in varsity as a ninth grader. If not, the parents pick up and take them somewhere else. The grass ain't always green on the other side until you get to the other side. So I believe in working hard, going after what you really believe you can do and get it done. I mean, I'm a Jackson boy, man. I come from a different era, and I'm all about hard work and dedication, man.
So Ray Guns?
No.
Ray Hedena? I thought he was a Jackson guy.
I graduated in '92, so I don't know.
No, he's like 97. Oh,
yeah.
You just aged yourself. Freddie, what do you?
That's hot.
Freddie, what you have two younger brothers. What do you say on that topic? I know 100% in your high school career, your parents fielded phone calls. I know it. You know what I mean? And,
yep.
And what do you say to kids out there in high school now about that particular subject? Because it's a big one, man. We got school jumpers. We got guys in 11th grade that have played for 4 schools. What can you advise now with what you've been through?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm like Mike in that sense. I'm a big person on loyalty, and I think when somebody makes that commitment towards you, or trusts you and stuff to come to their program, I think just being loyal towards that and sticking with that, and doing whatever you can to stay there and stick it out and do whatever and just get better. I think it's most important for these kids. I've been someone that's always been loyal, coming from high school, Killian for 4 years, played with the Legends for 4 years when, I had other summer teams, calling and stuff. And then, committed to Miami as a freshman and, stuck out that commitment until I got there. I think it's something that's big for me, just loyalty. And I always want to, I want to be around people that are loyal. And I think that's the biggest thing.
And let me ask you this, Freddie, because I heard you say a story the other day, which was funny. The day that they went to see you, or you had just committed, or were gonna commit, or something like that, and you had the best day of your life on the baseball field.
No,
walk us through that story, please.
No, so it was my freshman season. It was actually we were gonna play Gables. It was that Tuesday. It was a regional semi game, actually. My freshman year, you know, biggest game I've been in up to that point in my life. And the day before, I commit to Miami. You know, Miami's on me, and you know, I make that verbal commitment to them, and you know, I'm happy and everything. Everything's blowing up. I'm at the top of the world, and then we have a game the next day against Gables. You know, I feel good and stuff, and then Gino shows up. You know, the guy who committed me, who recruited me. And I proceeded to make 5 errors that game.
No.
and I honestly, my teammates from that team to this day, you know, tell me about it. But I almost lost that game if it wasn't for Eddie Demirius hitting a walk-off single. But no, it was right after too. I thought I was losing my scholarship that day.
It's a funny story in the sense that you overcame that. Obviously, that's not the Freddy Zamora that we've seen, and it just means that you're human, you know.
Well,
I'm sure
the game was at Gables, right?
Yeah,
No,
bad.
It was at Killian. It was at
Oh,
Killian.
It was that Killian. Yeah, he was already gonna blame the field. Didn't you hear? He said, Didn't you hear him say walk off? If it's a walk off, the home team has to be on their field. Come on, Rich, learn something here, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, if somebody's a district host, they don't have to be the home team, sir.
But he also said, pay attention to your guests. It was a regional semifinal, so means that they were playing at home. Listen, you need to listen to your guests.
Gables was stacked that year too. They had Cabezas, Coco. They had a good team.
Yeah, I wasn't the coach. I don't know what good talent was back in the day.
You weren't there yet?
No, I wasn't there yet. We've had a lot of young guys, and we've been doing good, and they're like kind of like believing and working hard and trying to buy into the stuff that I've tried to instill on them. But yeah. Those teams back in the day there were pretty special, and so much baseball tradition at Gables and in Killian too, because you know, Barquette played at Killian. I don't know if you don't know who Andy Barquette is, and he was a stud, and he played at NC State, and now I think he was even coaching with the Detroit Tigers, was a hitting coach or something. But both those programs have had a lot of tradition.
Freddie, if you could have a Freddy Zamora day, as far as have a day where you work with young kids, what age group would you select, and why?
What age group? Probably 14 to 15, like right before they got to high school. And I think just preach to them and stuff to just, you know, take care of things, not just on the field, but off the field. You know, academics is something that's huge for colleges. And, you know, if they want to continue with their career and they want to play baseball at the next level, you know, the first thing schools are going to look at is your grades and stuff. So I think that's the first thing that I would tell them before anything, honestly. Just make sure you're taking care of your classes. And then, you know, after that, it's just you're in high school now. You know, everybody has talent. It's not you're not going to be the best player of your travel ball team like it was. You know, and everybody's going to be competing for a spot. And, you know, you just got to go out there and show who you are. You know, don't back down from anything.
And Freddie, you're 24 credits away from your degree?
Yeah, I have like
More
4 years left.
A full year, okay.
Semesters.
That's okay. And what is your program and what is your degree going to be in?
I'm studying criminology right now with a minor in sports management.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, man, I know that the MLB has a plan in place there to kind of help you with that, and I encourage you to do that, man, because at the end of the day, it's gonna make you a better person, one, and two, is gonna facilitate more opportunities later down the road when baseball comes to an end. Hopefully, after a 20-year big league career, you know. So see, 20 years, Mike will be what, like 78, and you know, it'll be awesome.
I don't even want to think that far.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Rich, anything else?
Man, no, man. I would just like to thank the guys, man. This was really refreshing. It was good to go down memory lane, talk a bit about Angel and hear your guys' insight. And Fred, we wish you the best, man. I mean, I don't know what time the draft starts, but I think we should have some sort of Zoom draft party just to see, you know, if one of our hometown guys gets to do it. I mean, I love watching. To me, I was going to keep asking questions about and how cool is it to play with all these local guys. You know, you got Raymond Gill, Caballo, what's the big lefty? Corral. Like so many local guys. I haven't seen a UM like that in a long time. And to me, that's a more special UM. So, you know, I'm really proud to go out there and just see you guys play. And I think that colleges here local need to do a better job of that, because, you know, there's lots of talent down here. And I think that's better for their programs. You know, how many guys do you know, and how many friends you and family members that you have are going to go out there and support you? And I think that I think that's great to watch. But I'd really just like you know, to continue on the path that you're on, man. Like you're doing fantastic. It's fun to watch you in high school, college, and hopefully Ernie and I get to, you know, have maybe some nosebleeds soon, right?
No. We got you. We got you.
Knowing Mikey, I know we're gonna be in the dugout.
yeah, you'll be up there.
Hey, listen. Important question here, because you said about draft parties. I've been to a couple. One that I was happened to be at Mike's home. And he had one of my guys in 2007. He had Denny Almonte. And that year also, Yamani Grandal was his high school senior year, which, by the way, he played at Springs. And that spring team was loaded. But that's a whole different topic. Mikey, tell us about that, man, because it's a great story. And you shared it with me before. And share it with the people, man, because I think it's awesome.
Well, you know, Yaz going into his senior year was one of the top catchers in the country. You know, we had the same situation, a lot of meetings with teams as we got closer to the draft. We put a huge number on Yaz because, you know, we had Miami as leverage. He was on a full scholarship to the U. His mom was a teacher, and she was all about education. So, you know, we go into the draft, and, you know, past the first round, we start getting phone calls. And we start turning money down, 900, you know, $1 million. And we're talking about a young man whose family that year made $18,000 a year.
Wow.
So $1 million was was big for the family, but they were committed. They believed in me. They believed in what I had told them. So we turned down money, and then, you know, later on the next day, remember, Ernie, we turned down. People were like, "Oh, what happened?" Well, there was a big plan. There was we had a bigger plan. So we get drafted by the Red Sox later on in the draft, like in the 13th round, I believe. So right before the deadline, we go to Fort Myers. They have another chance to see Yaz work out for their front office people, and then we come back to Miami, and we get on a phone call right before the deadline, and they come in and they offer us, the money that we were looking for. But at that point, we had another mindset, and I know Yaz, like I said, since he was 13 years old. I knew the makeup, I knew the mind, I knew the work ethic. And I remember I told the general manager at the time, listen, that's not going to be enough. I'm sorry. It's like, what do you mean? I said, that's not going to be enough. Well, you know what? Yaz lives in a one-bedroom apartment in Hialeah. There's no way he's turning down that money. I said, okay, you want to get him on the phone? Let's get him on the phone. We got Yaz on the phone, and right before the general manager asked the question, Yaz was like, listen, whatever we talked about was before taxes. So we have nothing to talk about. I'll see you in 3 years, and I'll be the best catcher in the country. And he ended up going to Miami and was picked number 12 in the country and signed for $3.5 million. Nice. He was the best catcher in the country.
That's a great story, and I know there's more color to the story, and I appreciate you keeping it very PG. But definitely, it's a great story, and definitely, I saw him perform live against us several times with Phil Weiser, who was their coach, and we had some great games. And he was at Springs back in the day too, before Gables, and it was great, man. Listen, Mike, Freddy. I keep calling you Fred, man. I don't know if that's insulting you or Freddy. What would you like to call you? Because
it's Freddy's iPhone. Ernie, it's Freddy's iPhone.
Yeah, I keep calling you Fred.
Whatever's comfortable. It doesn't matter, honestly.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. So anyways, Mikey, thank you. Freddie, thank you for your time, man. We're going to be cheering you on, definitely. Hopefully June 10th, your dream comes true. And hopefully it is the Yankees. Hopefully it is the Marlins, man. And we could be seeing you close up, man. So best of luck. There's no doubt that the talent's there, that you're going to achieve your dreams, because that's the type of makeup that you have and the support system that you have. So go get them. Good luck, man. And you got at least these two guys cheering for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
Appreciate it. We're on.
Hey, Rich, man, that was quite a show, man. Real impressed by Freddy Zamora, the man, you know, and the way that he handled himself, and the dedication and the work ethic that he has, and definitely the passion that he has to play the game and the support system. It was great, man. It's just another great show that we had, and to be able to showcase, a young man from our area, and definitely that's going to do big things in this game of baseball that we love. Rich, I think next week, the episode, I think we should have some umpires on. You know.
Oh my goodness, we got to get the best of the best.
I know for a fact that they cannot throw us out of our show. That for sure can't happen. So we'll definitely. Hey, you know what? For the past since March 17th, they have not blown a call. So I think we're good. They have not missed a call. They have not. So I think it's great, man. They've been the best umpiring has happened through the COVID-19 virus. No games. But yeah,
I agree.
There's some characters.
Do you have anyone in mind that you would absolutely, if you could pick one high school umpire that you could have on here, who would it be?
No, definitely it'll be a surprise, man. Let's keep our viewers surprised and tuned in, and start talking baseball with about umpires, and then I think that's what we got going on.
It'll be fun. Yeah, I was really impressed by Freddie, man. Freddie and Mikey both tremendous people, class acts, and I think they had some great insight as to the non-baseball side of things, the character side, the role model side, the decision making. I think everybody can learn from that. If you're going to be a draft pick or not, you know, these things are very important on how you're going to develop as a young man, and as parents, how you're helping these guys develop, and what are our true expectations. So I think they did a tremendous job.
Definitely. Rich, again, man, pleasure to be on here with you and sharing Yard Talk, man. And where's my shirt, dude? I need my shirt. Where's my agent to get my shirt?
No, they're made. I'm gonna pick them up. Next episode, we'll have them on. I'm trying to have headbands too.
Headbands. My hairline's gonna go shorter, man. I can't wear the head. I can't do a LeBron on here.
We gotta stop the glare, man.
All right, man.
All right, homie.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
You got it.